Annabelle, as always, welcome back. So it is that time to do the review on the movie that everyone and their mother has been doing reviews on and giving their opinions on, and that is Halloween 2018. Whether you loved it or you hated it, we all got an opinion about it. Now, let me just start off by saying I did enjoy this movie. I enjoyed a few things about this movie. One of the better sequels, in my opinion, even if it is supposed to be a direct sequel to one, still thought it was much better than some of the other shitty some of the other shitty sequels that we've had. I'm talking about You, Resurrection. Yes, I am. But no, let's go ahead and talk about 2018's Halloween. So let me just first off say, like I said, I did enjoy this movie. I know that I've had some reservations about this movie, especially since they announced that there would be a sequel before the movie was released. Started getting really nervous about it, and let me tell you, right off the bat, even with me saying that I liked it, my gut feeling about my reservations about this movie kind of were on the spot for myself. Now, I'm going to say right now, there's going to be spoilers. I'm basically going to spoil this entire movie and everything about this movie. So if you have not seen this movie and don't want it spoiled for you, turn me off right now. Do not even continue. Come back and see me when you guys are ready to watch my review after you've seen the movie. But let's carry on. So, where do I even begin? So, let's start off with Laurie. Laurie. Now, Laurie, I have to admit, Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie, badass, man. She is, brilliant. She's amazing in this. She really, totally different Laurie than what we had in the first Halloween. I feel like the first Halloween, when push came to shove, yeah, Laurie was a perfect heroine and everything. Obviously, it went through anything like that at 17 before and everything. Really held her own. Kind of the same thing in Halloween 2018. Like I said, she's, badass. She, basically is a recluse survivalist where basically she just, her life is in shambles, but all she's ever been doing, the only thing that she's been doing basically for the last 40 years is making sure she knows how to defend herself and prep herself and her family for Michael Myers. Okay. I mean, I can kind of get behind that, but why are you still messed up 40 years later? Now, granted, I would assume going through something like that, especially at 17, seeing your friends die, seeing your friends get killed, yeah, you might still harbor some feelings. Halloween probably is not going to be a good time for you, but you didn't get, help for that crap? Back in the day, you were 17. I'm pretty sure your parents would have been like, yeah, my daughter needs some therapy. I can get it if she didn't want to carry on with therapy after she turned 18 or whatnot. But, you didn't, I'm sure she probably did. I'm sure, I don't know if they even addressed this in the movie, that she had gotten, some sort of professional help after that. But I would think that she would have at least kind of been able to overcome some of this. But no, you're still messed up by this, all these years later. And you let it ruin your life. You let it be the defining. And I know this has all been said before with everyone's reviews and everything, but you're letting this be, your defining moment. You're not letting the birth of your daughter or your granddaughter be some defining moments. No, it's Michael. And here's the thing, you're not even related to him in this, so why are you even hung up on this guy 40 years later? And I get it if, she had some feelings of yeah, I wish the guy was dead. He killed my friends, but you're obsessed. Michael, you need to get a restraining order on Laurie Strode. And here's the thing, I do kind of like her sort of like survivalist mode and mentality over the H2O, but I feel like maybe they should have had a little bit more of like the H2O Laurie Strode in this, where she's a little more kind of psychotic. Well, then again, she is kind of a little psychotic in this one, in a different sense, but whatever. Nitpicking. Here's the thing, a lot of nitpicking in this, which I know people are not happy about, but this movie's been around for 40 years. There's gonna be nitpicking. Just saying, especially with this series. But yeah, so she's still obsessed with him. Don't know why. Here's the thing, because at first, some of the things I was kind of hearing, because I've been trying to stay away from spoilers, reviews, and stuff, but little tidbits here and there I've heard, and a lot of people are like, okay, first of all, for a survivalist, she's got a lot of clutter, she's kind of a hoarder. Yeah, and maybe she did that on purpose because she knew that she wanted Michael to kind of come back so she could kill him and, like, get revenge on this. So, couple of her rooms, if you guys noticed, like, some rooms were completely bare-boned, nothing in them. Other rooms have just a lot of clutter, such as, like, that mannequin room that she has all those excess mannequins and mannequin parts and everything, just to sort of lure him in, give him a chance to sort of hide somewhere, and she could then, boom, try and kill him, or at least harm him and put him down for a couple of minutes. So I get that grudge, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think people are kind of missing that aspect of the hoarding part of it, because like I said, there's a couple of rooms where she has like absolutely nothing, other rooms where she's just a hoarder. So and what else? I actually have notes too, by the way, you guys, sorry. So if I keep looking down trying to collect my thoughts, just saying. So Michael. So obviously in this one we know that Michael is not Laurie's brother. They're not related. They're not siblings. And I'm okay with that, because I know that initially John Carpenter, like, that wasn't the first movie. That's not something he wanted to do. But then, of course, the original second Halloween that we got, and I know that he blames this on a night of drinking, so he was a little bit drunk, and kind of threw the brother-sister angle in there. Therefore, all this time we've had this franchise that Michael is related to Laurie, and subsequently anyone that she has as children, i.e. Danielle Harris's character from 4 and 5, and 6, I guess, even though I know that was a different actress, and the Josh Hartnett character from H2O. Hopefully, if I remember, I will bring up some points, little theories in my head about that. But with that being said, like I said, I know this one kind of went back to that initial notion of the fact that they're not related, which I'm okay with that. I like that aspect, and I kept kind of telling myself while I was watching this movie of like, oh God, that's right, they're not related, because, like I said, this franchise has been around for 40 years. Most of that time, about, 37 years, we've had that concept pretty much ingrained in our minds, that a lot of us had to really sort of step back a little bit and be like, okay, this, like, they're not related. Like I said, I'm okay with that. I like that, to go back to sort of that initial concept. But here's the thing. You do that, and this is not a bad thing. You take that out of the equation. At this point, 40 years later, none of the other sequels existing, Michael basically is just a serial killer. And I like that. I do like that concept. Just a serial killer who just so happens to, of course, being transferred escapes because there's an accident presumably caused by Michael. He finds himself back at Haddonfield, and I'm okay with him going back to Haddonfield because that's his hometown. That's kind of, besides the mental institution, Smith's Grove Sanitarium, that's the only other place he really knows. That's his home, so it makes sense for him to go back to Haddonfield. But this time, I just feel like he could have not been pursuing Laurie Strode. But it just so happens that Laurie Strode is still living there and waiting for him, kind of trying to reverse the tables on him, like I said, to exact her revenge that she's been once again harboring and having as her defining moment in life from 40 years ago, who can't move on. Like I said, though, but I kind of like that idea of Michael just being straight up a serial killer. I know he's kind of being the boogeyman and everything, which works perfectly for the first film, and I'm okay with that. But like I said, if we're now following this timeline, no, he's just more of the serial killer that just so happened to survive that night. Yeah, just saying. I'm just saying, And then, okay, so something else that I do have to bring up is all the homages in this movie. Once again, we all know that this is a direct sequel to Part 1. None of the other sequels have happened. Now, I was expecting a couple of little Easter eggs, some nods. Oh, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this. And what I'm about to say, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, and this has been kind of in my mind the last few weeks, of, like, we've been getting so many movies that are paying homages to one another or, like, really planting Easter eggs, that I feel like this kind of fell into that mold of, oh, we need Easter eggs in this. We need homages. And like I said, I was expecting some, like, certain things I was expecting, like, such as when Michael got his jumpsuit and everything and reclaimed his mask. Very reminiscent of Part 4 with the garage, or the gas station / garage attendant. I'm okay with that. Obviously, that's kind of like the way he gets his stuff is somehow running into with his, like, a gas station or mechanic who has a jumpsuit. And of course, he gets the mask from the little bloggers or YouTubers, whatever they are, professional YouTubers, who can give Laurie $3,000 for an interview. So they're making it pretty well. Little things like that I'm okay with. I know that the bathroom scene, the stall scene, very much from H2O. Okay, but then it just kind of kept going with all the homages. I mean, you had the mask from 3. Cute little nod. I'm okay with something like that. But for me, at the same time, I'm like, at this point, I almost wish we didn't have the masks from Part 3. Because then we also get Michael upgrading his little hammer to a knife. And we get almost the exact same scene from Part 2 when he gets the knife. Where the lady, literally, the lady in the newest one in 2018, wearing that pink robe, I think she had the curlers or something in her hair. She's literally with a little, like, pull-out cutting board, cutting up some ham. By the way, most people don't get that much freaking ham or turkey at a time, that big, and cut it up themselves. Nowadays, 78 timeline, I could see that. Then he ends up grabbing the knife and everything. She ends up getting kind of distracted so he can kind of come in and get the knife. Literally, same freaking scene, same scene, and it's done just a tiny little bit different. It's like, oh, let's do a different, like, viewpoint from it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, shit like that in this movie is, like, too much. There's more. There is more. Another perfect example. The boyfriend and the girlfriend, the babysitter and her boyfriend that come over, they get killed, obviously. Here's the thing. The boyfriend, oh, what do you know? He gets stabbed through the wall, but instead of, like, through the torso, he gets it through the neck, which actually looks really cool. That effect looked amazing, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. And then the girlfriend was like, oh, well, we did the little boyfriend. We need the sheet for the ghost. So that's over her. Like, seriously. I liked him in the, I like that they found, Michael in the closet, though. I did like that. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like a little bit such as, Monster Squad with the mummy in the closet and the kids trying to be like, there's something in the closet. Little things like that, like things like that I enjoyed. And then there's those homages. More homages, though. Yes, there are more homages. So, I'm gonna jump right to the ending. Like I said, I'm literally spoiling everything about this movie because I've let this fester for almost 24 hours and things are getting to me. Things are getting to me. So the ending. Let me tell you. So they lure Michael down to the little bunker area under Laurie's house, locks it up, and you can see all these like prongs getting warmed up and heating up, getting really hot, and gas, obviously, or something is getting in there. He ends up burning up, place ends up, like, blowing up, and Michael, here's the thing, like, obviously that is an homage to part 2. Once again, I would have been okay with that if this movie wasn't, I don't even want to say sprinkled, but just drowned in homages. That, you know, he gets blown up, obviously, would have been okay with that, but here's the thing also, too, like, Michael just stands there, like, you're not gonna try to at least do something, even though you know you're trapped down there, you're just gonna burn up, whatever, and then, the 3 ladies in this movie, Laurie Strode, her daughter, played by Julie Greer, and then the granddaughter, Allison, are riding in the back of the truck. Part 4, once again, they're riding in the back of the truck, and they kind of pan over to the granddaughter, down to her hand, who is gripping onto the bloody knife that Michael had just used for some of the movie. Here's the thing. I'm about to have a fucking shit fest, whatever. Because the rest of the video so far hasn't been a shit fest. Here's the thing. Obviously, homage to part 4. Now, here's the thing. With this looming sequel on the horizon, so is the granddaughter supposed to be like the next Michael? Kind of like how Danielle Harris was set up to do 30 years ago that we wanted, because her uncle came after her? Or is this a telling that she's going to grow up kind of like her grandmother, who she wants to, like, have a connection with, she wants to have the relationship, end up growing up and being this recluse survivalist? Because honestly, if that's one of those routes we're going through, I don't want it. I don't want that. I mean, once again, if Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis's character were related still, I could see that. I could see why, you know, once again, going back to Laurie being still obsessed about this, I could see why she's like the way she is. You know, she's got a freaking nutcase of a brother who killed people who killed her sister, or at least her half-sister, or no, her sister, and then came back and killed a bunch of her friends. Because, I mean, like, I'd be pissed. If my brother did that, I would probably be like Laurie Strode. But, like, we don't have any of that. So why are you setting it up? If you're doing the sort of homage to Danielle Harris, where she is now going to carry the torch, that is what we wanted 30 years ago. That is not what we want now. At least that's not what I want. I should probably say that that's not what you guys want. Some of you guys might want that. That is not what I want. First of all, I don't even want a sequel to this. I would have just liked to have thought, with my own mind, with the ending of this movie, that, yeah, the granddaughter's going to be a little messed up. She's going to have some struggles, but she's gripping onto that knife because she's got to know, she's got to defend herself, and she's got to, always be aware of her surroundings and be a tough chick. End of story. End of story. Something else that I kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I'm not totally upset about it, but something that I just felt was done incorrectly is the killing of the sheriff, the cop who was the one who apprehended Michael back in 78. He gets killed, but here's the thing. He gets killed by the doctor, the new supposed Loomis. Here's my issue with that. I agree, I think the cop should have died, but he should have been killed by Michael. Because that would make sense, because he, like I said, was the cop who apprehended Michael back in 78 after all the murders and everything. That would make sense. Why, no, the doctor does not need to freaking kill him. I understand he needed to kill him to kind of, pick Michael back up and get him in the truck and, get him to Laurie Strode. Oh, gotta get him to Laurie Strode. No, you don't, dude. You really freaking don't. Because at this point, the Laurie Strode character, without being related to Michael, it's kind of meaningless. Yeah, I went there. I know people are going to hate on me. But not in a bad way. I'm not trying to say that as a troll or anything, you guys. But it's just, why? Why at this point? If they're not related, why? Just saying. I mean, I get it on her end, but to an extent, whatever. Sorry, you guys. I know I've been kind of trolling this movie a lot. If you guys do really enjoy this movie, more power to you. Like I said, I like this movie. I do. But here, you know what? Some of the positive things. Some of the positives. First of all, the score I like. That opening sequence. It's my new jam. One of the, and like I said, I know one of the kills that, even though I had an issue with it, was with the boyfriend being stabbed to the wall. Like I said, I really did like that, because it wasn't quite in the middle of his throat. It was kind of sort of to the side. Really brilliant. I liked that. Just the makeup on it, but I think we could have done without the sticking to the wall. Another kill, though, that I really actually absolutely love, this is probably my favorite part of the movie, and I'm not even sure why, is that kid who's walking the granddaughter home after the dance, or after she finds her boyfriend, kissing another girl, and he's cheating on her. Yeah, that's another trope too, from part 5, where Grady cheats on Ellie Cornell's character with the sheriff's daughter. He was walking her home, kind of tries to put the moves on her and everything. She's like, no. So he's kind of sitting there on the ground with his beers. He's drunk and everything. And, here comes Michael. He thinks it's the homeowner that, he is on his lawn. He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. So-and-so. I've had just a rough night, and I'm sorry. I'll get off your lawn. Just have you ever been so into a girl, but she just doesn't get little things like that? He not realizing what the hell's going on, and then once he kind of realizes, he's like, oh shit, I need to go, and he gets killed. I was like, no. Honestly, I'm sorry. That kid should not have gotten killed. If anything, The fucking cheating boyfriend should have been killed. Like, what the fuck? Things like that I'm like, at least fucking Grady got killed, or whatever the hell his name is. Brady or whatever, Sasha, whatever his name is. God deserved it. Just saying. But just things like that, you guys, I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm being, like, really critical about this movie, but here's the thing, though. Here is the thing. Like, I like this movie. Like I said, I did enjoy this movie. I'm taking it over, you know, a few of the other sequels and everything, such as, obviously, Resurrection. I'm taking it over Rob Zombie's, movies, his remakes. I mean, I know I have some issues with Rob Zombie's remakes, but every so often I will put those in, just because I'm like, they're not that bad. I'm really harsh on them. But this one, it has so many issues. I enjoy it for what it is. That's the thing. I enjoy it for what it is. Even with all its sort of, like, issues that I have with it, it's a decent sequel. It really is a decent sequel. They're trying to tie up loose ends, trying to kind of bring that essence of the first one back. I respect that. I really do. And, you know, honestly, when this comes out on Blu-ray, you guys know I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick up a copy. And to be honest with you, I'm already thinking about it. Next year for my binge, it's going to be in my binge. Here's how my new Halloween sort of setup for my binge in October is going to end up from now on. Because normally it's been parts 1, 3, and 4. Sometimes I may watch 5. Sometimes I may throw in H2O. Not always. But now, what I'm going to be doing is Halloween. Probably Halloween 2, just to have both of the direct sequels. Halloween 3, Halloween 4, H2O, and then Halloween 2018. So, yeah, obviously, I like it enough that it's going to be part of my binge. I know some people are already like, no, I'm not even watching this again. I'm okay with that. I get it. And here's the other thing, too, because I know even some people with, like, the It's movie we got last year. I was going to say kind of like reboot, remake. It's kind of like more of a reboot. The reimagining of it last year. You know, a few people were kind of like, I don't know how this is going to hold up in, say, like 5, 10, 20 years. I feel sort of the same way about Halloween 2018. I really don't know how it's going to sort of hold up. I feel like a lot of us are still in that mode of like, oh, we got another Halloween movie! We have John Carpenter being a part of it! Woo! Like, but then I'm kind of like, you know, I feel like it's gonna really kind of like, we're gonna look back and be like, and I don't want that to happen where we're all gonna, like, in 10 years totally trash this movie, because like I said, it's got some things about it that I like. You know, I just feel like it's gonna be kind of like H2O, where it's like, everyone was so excited about it, and now, like, 20 years later, we're like, yeah, you know, it's not bad. I mean, I know some people really do truly love that movie H2O. I certainly still really enjoy it. But looking back, comparing it from then and now, from my 14-year-old self to my 34-year-old self, because I actually saw H2O in the theaters when it came out. So, you know, that's why I wanted to see this one in the theaters, too. Excuse me, you guys. I'm sorry. Too much talking. And I was super excited about that one. I really was. I was really stoked. And then I saw it, I was like, oh, that was pretty awesome. But now as an adult, I was like, it was okay. Like, that movie is flooded with issues, too. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not saying that was a perfect sequel or a perfect sort of anniversary movie or anything, but whatever. But speaking of sort of, like, anniversary type of movies, because I was kind of thinking about this last night, about some of the key movies that we have. So obviously we have Halloween, the original, that took place in 78, which was 40 years ago. Halloween 4, 30 years ago, was 10 years after the events of the first one. Then we have Halloween H2O, which is pretty much at this point our middle of the road, or the middle movie, which was done 20 years ago, 20 years after after the events of the first one, and now we have Halloween 2018 that happened 40 years after the events of the first one. Now, I know, and I've said too earlier in this video, I know that all this, this is a direct sequel to the first one. None of the other sequels, happen. None of them happen. All those things, Laurie's other kids and everything don't exist. All those characters don't exist. None of the events happen. All the time that, Loomis would be tracking them down. None of that happened. I get that. But in my little head, whether this will be done as sort of a fan sort of film, and I'm sure people have kind of started putting this sort of like pieces together like this, sort of like a little fan theory that, and as I was saying, that, either a fan-made film is probably going to kind of follow this, or if they try to then sort of go back on their words for the sequel and be like, yeah, you know what, maybe some of those events happened from other sequels. Here's the thing, because in the movie, it is said that Laurie Strode was married twice and divorced twice. Now, here's why I mention those sequels. Specifically, like Ford H2O. Now, if they were to kind of bring that kind of go back on their words and include some of the events from previous movies, or at least maybe specific movies such as Ford H2O and obviously this new one. Here's the thing. Here's something I was thinking of. If they wanted to try and piece it together. And obviously you might, 6 might play a factor depending on how they would want to do this. So I'm thinking first marriage, depending on when this marriage happened. I mean, who knows? She might have married Ben Tramer right off the bat after those murders, because she's kind of like, oh my god, I can't be by myself. Therefore, what do you know? We have then little Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd, and then we have Josh Hartnett, who could be siblings, and that's from her first marriage. Gets a divorce. We don't know what happened to Hartnett and Harris. We don't know, like, whatever may have happened. She probably screwed them up too, and want nothing to do with their mother, or their dad, her ex-husband, could have been like, oh my god, your mother's crazy, can't do this, and just move the kids away, far away from Laurie. Second marriage is where Judy Greer's character comes into play, and it's like, oh, she actually, kept custody of her until 12 or whatever, when the state took her kid away, and just kind of seeing like how the 3 kids sort of, their dynamics and how they each kind of like ended up growing up, and how all of Jamie Lee Curtis's characters, Laurie Strode's character, just affecting them, and just seeing how it all affected them and everything. I think that would be kind of interesting. Like I said, though, if they did do this for the next one or down the road, because we all know how the Halloween franchise likes to do it, just saying, parts 4, parts 5, 6, H2O, just saying, inconsistencies all over the place. I mean, I don't know, I think that would be kind of interesting, like I said, if they were to ever kind of go back on their word and be like, yeah, you know what, we're going to kind of take some elements of for H2O and this one and make the sequel out of it. I mean, it would be interesting. It would get shit on a lot, I know, and I know I would be like, dude, I know I said I'd be okay with seeing this, but no, that did not work. Like I said, it's just one of those things, like I'm sure a lot of you guys with these series, and everything, where we are always kind of like, what if type of thing. Or like our brains are always like, what if with these series. That, like I said, that's just my own little kind of like thought on that theory. If they ever wanted to do that stuff. Oh, and by the way, because I was going to bring this up with the homages. So sorry, I'm not sorry that this is a long ass recording. I knew this was. So here's the thing with the homages. Going back to the homages. So we had all these homages and everything. All these homages from all of the different sequels. Like I said, it was like an abundance of homages. Here's the thing. As I said before, the homages, yeah, I'm okay with some, but I just felt like it was too much. But if you're going to put all these homages in from the previous series, and I get once again that this is a direct sequel to the first one, no, parts 2, 4, 5, 6, Resurrection, H2O, and all that. Why would you not put the biggest homage in there to begin with of having Danielle Harris as her actual daughter? What the fuck? I mean, I cannot be the only one, and I know Judy Greer's performance. I mean, and I like Judy Greer. I do. I know some people don't like her. Other people really do love her. I know her performance in here has been getting kind of shit on. I didn't really have too much of a problem with her performance in here. I really didn't. But honestly, like, I'm not the only one. As a matter of fact, I know I'm not the only one who wished that she would have been her daughter. Now with seeing it, it's like, you put all these other homages in. Get your goddamn shit together. Coming after you, Carpenter. Anyway, you guys, so I had to get that out there. But anyway, you guys, once again, sorry that this sounded more of like just like me, like totally shit-festing on this. I mean, I had so many issues with this, but at the end of the day, I did like this one. This is one of the better sequels. Definitely go check it out. Definitely have your own sort of like, thought about this and everything, your own opinion, because honestly, everyone has the right to, whether it's absolutely loving this movie, or absolutely hating the movie, or kind of like me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I liked it, but it's got its issues. That's alright, you guys. That is alright. Whether you loved it or hated it, whatever your issues you had with it, whatever you loved about it, more power to you. But anyway, guys, enough of me babbling. I've been with you for almost 40 minutes. Thank you for letting me do this long video. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.